What's happening right now in the north is something that has left many people speechless. Reports coming from Zamfara have left communities in tears. And once again, the question of safety, leadership, and humanity has come back to the front. People are talking everywhere, on social media, in the mosques, in the markets, and in the streets, asking the same question: when will all this end? And my people, as you are watching this video right now, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the bell so that you won't miss any of our updates. Now, according to several reports making rounds, a very shocking and sad situation has been unfolding in parts of Zamfara state. It is being said that suspected bandits, armed and dangerous, entered into farming communities and caused serious loss of lives. The number being mentioned is around 50 farmers, hardworking men who went to their farmlands just to provide food for their families, but never returned home. This tragedy has sent deep fear and anger into the hearts of many people in the north, especially because the people affected are not outsiders. They are Hausa farmers, and the attackers are said to be Fulani Bandits. And that alone has started to cause division and tension within the region. Now, let's talk real. When something like this happens, the pain is not only for those families directly involved. It affects everybody because it shakes the trust people have in one another. The North has always been seen as one family, one people, bound together by culture, faith, and respect. But this type of violence is tearing that unity apart little by little. People who used to live together in peace are now beginning to suspect each other. And that's the saddest part of this whole story. As people are still mourning, questions are being raised. Where are the security forces? Where are the community leaders? Where are the traditional rulers, the Emirs? Some people are angry, saying that many of the Emirs are no longer speaking boldly about what's happening in their domains. Others say the Emirs themselves are afraid because these bandits don't respect anybody anymore. They attack villages, they attack security agents, and they even attack royal convoys sometimes. So people are now beginning to ask if the traditional system that used to protect and guide the people still has the power it once had. And that's not all. Many voices from the north are saying this whole situation has made the region look weak and divided. They are saying that the people who should be united are now turning against each other because of fear and mistrust. And this division is exactly what the criminals want, because when the people are divided, they cannot fight back together. Please, if you are watching right now, kindly like this video and subscribe, because we need to keep spreading awareness about what's really happening in our communities. Now let's go deeper into the roots of all this. The problem of banditry in the north did not start today. It has been building up for years. It started as small cases of cattle rustling, minor land disagreements, and clashes between herders and farmers. But slowly it grew into something more organized and dangerous. Many of the bandit groups now move with sophisticated weapons, motorcycles, and have hideouts deep inside forests. Some even have informants in towns. They carry out kidnappings, collect ransom, and sometimes even take control of villages. And this is not just happening in Zamfara. It's also in Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, Niger, and Kaduna. The sad thing is that ordinary citizens are the ones paying the price. Farmers cannot go to their farms. Traders are scared to travel by road, and children cannot go to school safely. In some areas, whole villages have been deserted. People sleep in fear, wake up in fear, and still thank God each morning just for being alive. And this makes you wonder, how did we get here? Every time there's an attack, you hear government officials promise to act. You hear about the new security deployments, new strategies, and new committees. But after a few weeks, the story goes silent until another attack happens again. And it keeps going like that, as if we are moving in a circle. People are tired of promises. They want real results. They want to see their loved ones protected. They want to go to the farm and come back home without being afraid. And another thing that people are talking about now is the issue of trust between the Fulani and Hausa communities. For many years, these two groups have lived side by side. They intermarry, they trade together, and they pray together. But now, this new wave of attacks is making people view each other with suspicion. Some are saying the bandits are Fulani, they are attacking Hausa. But others are saying, no, these bandits are just criminals. They don't represent any tribe. And truly, that's the truth. Criminals have no tribe, no religion, and no conscience. But unfortunately, when these incidents happen repeatedly, they start shaping the minds of people. You'll see comments online where people start using ethnic or religious lines to describe the violence. And this is dangerous, because the more we divide ourselves by tribe or religion, the harder it becomes to find a solution. So, while it is important to call for justice, we must also call for unity. Because if we break apart, the criminals will only get stronger. And yes, my people, as we continue, please remember to like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notification so that you'll be among the first to hear our updates whenever we bring you news like this. Your support helps us keep speaking the truth. Now, many people are calling for the government to take stronger action. They want the federal and state governments to work together to send more troops into these rural communities and to provide intelligence that can help track the movement of these armed groups. They are also calling for local vigilantes to be better supported, because these are the people who actually understand the terrain. But even that comes with a warning, because some vigilante groups have been accused of taking matters too far or acting outside the law. So there has to be proper structure and control. The government also needs to think about how to support victims. Many families that have lost loved ones are left with nothing. No help, no counseling, no compensation. People just cry, bury their dead, and move on with pain in their hearts. But when citizens start losing faith in justice, that's when hopelessness sets in. And that's why this conversation we are having right now is so important, because we cannot be silent about these things. In Zamfara, the situation is especially sensitive. That's because the state has tried many different peace initiatives before. They've tried dialogue, amnesty, and even negotiations. Some bandits accepted, some didn't. Some collected amnesty packages and went back to the bush. It shows that peace cannot work if criminals do not truly want peace. And as long as there are people who benefit from the chaos through ransom money, political interests, or illegal mining, the violence will continue. What makes this recent report even more painful is that the people killed were said to be farmers. And farming season is when people depend on the crops to survive. Losing 50 farmers means losing not just lives but food, income, and hope for many families. It's heartbreaking to imagine how their loved ones are feeling right now. Mothers who will not see their sons again, wives who have lost their husbands, children who will grow up fatherless. That is the real pain behind the headlines. And even though we must still wait for official confirmation of the numbers, one thing is sure: too many people have died already in that region. The numbers may change, but the tragedy remains. Life has become too cheap in areas where it should be most valued. And that is something we should never accept as normal. Now, let's talk about the Emirs being in big trouble, as some are saying. The truth is, traditional rulers are under pressure. They are expected to maintain peace, to guide their people, and to speak out. But many of them are stuck between two worlds: the people on one side and the government on the other. If they speak too strongly, they may be accused of criticizing government. If they stay silent, their people may accuse them of cowardice. It's not an easy position to be in. Some emirs have been bold enough to call out the government, warning that things are getting worse. Others have been more diplomatic. But in all honesty, if the security situation does not improve, people will keep demanding accountability from everyone, not just the politicians, but also traditional rulers. Because leadership is not only about titles, it's about protection, courage, and standing for the truth. Please, if you're still watching, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It really helps us grow and reach more people with these discussions. Now, another important point we must mention is how misinformation spreads during moments like this. The moment people hear 50 killed, many rush to share it without confirming. Sometimes it turns out to be true, sometimes not. But the danger is that false information can cause panic or even retaliation. So it's always better to verify before spreading. Our goal should be peace and awareness, not fear and hatred. At this point, we have to ask ourselves, what kind of future do we want for our country? Because if our villages are no longer safe, if our children cannot sleep without fear, then we must all stand up and demand change, not with anger, but with unity and determination.